there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is ErnieOrange, and we have a great show for you guys today. We are going to talk about the Ohtani incident and the Ohtani gambling and iPace and whatever. You know, everybody's talking about it, right, Ernie?
Yeah, it's the hottest topic in today's baseball news. Ippei and Shohei being involved in the gambling escalation scandal. This is crazy, man. This is the biggest news in baseball, and season still hasn't even officially started.
It hasn't, but you know, there was 2 games out in Korea, and it kind of overshadowed because of this. And because of this, there's everybody talking about baseball, including people that don't even talk baseball are talking about this. But you know, there was a series in Mexico. It was the Yankees against the Diablos, so it hasn't happened in a while, and we'll get into that a little bit too. And there's other things in baseball that we're going to talk about. You know, Pete Rose, of course, it's mentioned because when you hear gambling, you hear Pete Rose, right? So
Yes.
everything we're going to talk about is right here on Real Talk Baseball after this.
Hello there. Today's show is sponsored by Rival Fantasy. Make sure to check it out using rivalfantasy.com or downloading the Rival Fantasy app using code RealTalkBaseball. It's the latest, hottest sports gambling type game to do these days with fantasy sports. Make sure to check it out. You have daily, weekly, and even season-long challenges for your baseball, NBA, or NFL needs.
Nice. Cool. And use the code. Ernie already gave it to you, but it's a code. We'll put it in the description so you guys can go ahead and get that app. Or if you guys want to do it from computer, just use Real Talk Baseball. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Ohtani, dude.
Oh, man.
That's kind of crazy, right? Like I just feel kind of bad for the guy, but today's speech kind of felt like, okay, is he lying? Is he not lying? What should you believe? Like, and I've told you like before we got on the show, but I want you to go first and tell me what you feel about what's going on with Ohtani.
Oh man, there's just too much speculations, a lot of doubts, a lot of questions. I feel us MLB fans want all the answers already, but we haven't got much. And
Yeah,
it's gonna be an investigation that's gonna take almost a whole season. It may take even a couple of years before we really find out what really happened. But Ohtani, man, involved in the biggest scandal in baseball that we've seen this decade. And I feel really sad for the guy because if this guy is innocent, Ippei, his translator, did him really dirty as a friend, as a person that he trusted, somebody that really stole his money, man. 4.5 million is not, it's a lot of cash, a lot of
it
dough.
is. It is.
And we're not too sure, Carlos. There's a lot of doubts. And I just feel like I've seen Shohei play for the past 6 years as an Angel fan, and I've seen the way he carries himself and how he treats the game. It's just really hard for me to say that he is one of those guys that was involved in gambling. I want to say he is a guy that did help his friend Ippei. It's one of those situations where, like, what the hell are you doing with yourself? Let me here just wire you this money since you're in debt. There's no reason why Ohtani should be gambling, dude. Ohtani has so much money. This guy's making over $60 million a year in endorsements alone. The guy has no need to gamble. Doesn't give me the vibe that this guy will gamble. The way he presented his speech today just seems like a really quiet and humble guy. But I guess it's this language barrier that he has, right? It's like the thing that we can't really see if he's really lying or not.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think about it? It's one of those things where, like, man, I can't believe Ohtani's involved in the biggest scandal. This guy's considered the greatest baseball player in our generation. And not even one game into the season, and the guy is stuck being involved in the biggest news. And
That
damn,
sucks.
Ippei, man, what are you
Yeah.
doing to him, man?
Yeah.
And there's more news about Ippei. We found out that it's not true. So we don't know what's the real thing about this guy either, you know?
So when I first heard about the news, and I kind of felt like everybody was kind of doubting what Ohtani. Oh, this guy's just a fall guy. This guy,
Yes.
he's using him as a fall guy, right? And that's what everybody was talking about. And you have those that were like, no, it can't be Ohtani. Ohtani doesn't look like that way, you know. Like we personally don't know him. We just see him in baseball. We see him on TV. He does what he does with baseball, or whatever. And you know, like when you hear this happen, I kind of felt like, okay, well, let's wait to see what happens in the investigation, right? I think today was perfect for him to go out and tell everybody what's going on, what his side of the story was. Of course, a lot of people were like, well, he's going on there and he's not going to answer any questions. Well, you got to understand when there's an investigation, any little word that you say is gonna go against you. If you say a word kind of stumbling, they're gonna be like, oh, well, why was he stumbling? So I
Yeah.
think he did great. He spoke good. I know he had the interpreter there, which is kind of like the English barrier you just mentioned. Me personally, I kind of feel like, okay, I've seen a lot of people before go on the stand and say, I've never done steroids, I've never done this, I've never done that, and they come back and they get caught. They get caught up in that thing. I hope this is not the case for Ohtani, because I kind of do want to see this man play baseball. He is the greatest man to play baseball in our century, I think, in pretty much in the whole time that baseball has existed,
Yes.
because now you have all countries participating in the MLB. So now you get to see who's the best, right? And I wouldn't want Otani to get caught up in this drama. And if it does, we're going to be missing out. To be honest, we're going to be missing out a lot, because this man is just, he's good, dude. Why not have him out there? But I do understand too that MLB has rules in place and players do need to follow that. But I did kind of see something interesting too, so I'll go ahead and read them. So, if a lot of people didn't know, like what happened is that the reason why this guy got caught up was because of Matthew Boyer. Matthew Boyer was a bookie. He's the one that got the bets, and he's the one that plays the bets for Ipe. So the way it worked is that Ipe kind of made all his bets through him, and Matthew Boyer went to everybody and said, "Hey, I got Otani under my book. Let's go and get bets in." So when he got investigated, when that started, that was in 2023, and that's when all these transactions from Otani showed up on his book, and that's how he got caught up, and that's why the news broke out. So he is on the big stage now. He is on a bigger stage because he's getting paid a lot of money. And we've talked about this a lot, Ernie. Like since the news broke, and that was what, March 20th,
Yes.
and it's been a while now. So it's every day is breaking more and more and more.
More
So
information.
exactly. So I just feel like, what do you think it's gonna? Is it gonna affect his game moving forward?
Oh, it definitely is. Shohei's really one of those guys that doesn't like the drama, stays quiet, always focused. What Javi said, he sucks about this whole situation. He hopes it doesn't mess with the team chemistry. And I really do think it's going to affect them a bit in the beginning of the month of April. There's just so much going on right now. And with Ohtani joining the Dodgers, the amount of hate the Dodgers just got this offseason, and Ohtani being involved in the biggest scandal day one into the season, this is not looking great for the Dodgers. And this would be the third player within the last 5 years that's in a certain scandal with the Dodgers. This is not great for the Dodgers. Now, will Ohtani bounce back? I really hope so, because this is the greatest two-way player we've ever seen. But I don't think he's going to have an effective season this year, man. And especially, he has to worry about his elbow, right? He's recovering from his arm. He's trying to become a two-way pitcher next year. And now you have the scenario with the scandal. Even though if he's innocent, I know Ohtani's going to do everything in his power to fight it, but I do feel like it will affect him somehow.
I think it is, and it's sad, because it's gonna be one of those things that we're like, okay, we want to see this man perform. He's only going to be able to hit this year. He started throwing today, by the way. I don't know if you saw that they're playing the Angels, and he had like a little side session. He was throwing, and he wasn't throwing hard. He was just warming up, but that's a good sign for him, right? But with this, and it takes effect on any athlete, I believe, because any athlete that's concentrated on pure playing their sport, and they have something overshadowing or thinking about that, oh, I need to go to court for this, I need to go to court for that. Now you have to start thinking, is he going to be missing games because of that? Is he going to be missing time away from the team because he needs to go to courts for this incident that just happened? So
Yeah, or even a
a lot of,
suspension.
yeah, even a suspension from MLB, because we don't know the full details of what MLB is going to investigate. So this is where I kind of feel like I just it sucks for the Dodgers. Why? Because it didn't happen with the Dodgers. This is the thing. It didn't happen
Angels
with
got
the
lucky.
Dodgers. So it happened. It happened when he wasn't even part of them, but the Dodgers are the ones that are taking the rap. And yeah, they're the ones that are paying him. So if he doesn't play, let's say he gets suspended for a year, he's not going to play, but he's going to get paid for that year. So it's like they're losing money. So it's like it sucks. It sucks either way. I just hope that we don't miss out a lot from him. I hope that this clears up and it just happens the way it needs to happen for us to see the best player in the world playing baseball. And it
And
can happen to any team, dude. I'm just not saying that because I'm a Dodger fan. I'm saying it because of baseball. I
yeah.
feel like we missed out a lot on Barry Bonds, which a lot of people think that, oh, because he did steroids, he's not the best. Like, well, I don't know. We can kind of like argue about it because everybody was on steroids at that time, you know. So
Hmm.
we don't want to miss out. We should be talking about, okay, he's the greatest player and move forward from there, right? So
Yeah, man. I just feel like Otani's always kept everything to himself. He got married, didn't tell anyone. He does a lot of things without. That's just Japanese culture. We're
yeah,
so different in America, right? We're so used to flashing, showing everything on social media, just bringing content like Trevor Bauer style. But no,
yeah,
Shohei likes to have a private life, and I just feel like he wouldn't gamble, man. I really hope he didn't, because this would definitely tarnish his career. And it sucks that it already is, even though he possibly could be innocent. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Like
That's
he
true.
would always be remembered for this scandal, no matter what.
No matter what. And that's what sucks. That's what really sucks. Let me bring up some little things that they caught this man lying about. I paid, and this is an interpreter. He said that he graduated from UC Riverside, which he didn't.
You see,
He
Riverside
lied.
said he didn't come there. He didn't come to this.
Exactly. He lied about being an interpreter with the Red Sox. The Red Sox confirmed that he's never worked with them. And then he did go to casino dealing school, but he quit. I'll just mention that. He admits he has a gambling addiction, and of course his bookie. I just said his name, Boyer, Matthew Boyer, which is the guy that is getting investigated and started all this whole thing with Ohtani. So
Hey man, people will do
yeah,
some crazy stuff when they're in some depth. So just
yeah,
saying. And
yeah.
you ask yourself, how did he get into Otani's account? People will do the wildest things you can imagine for 4.5 million. This guy was getting paid 500K, Carlos. I mean, it's the best dream job anybody could have, but 500K seems like a little bit when you're surrounded by millionaires every day.
That's true, and you're just trying to multiply with that. So betting is the easiest way for him. And if you're you have an addiction to do it. That's what makes it worse for you. Let me ask you this, because there's a lot of freaking MLB players and a lot of MLB fans out there that's saying, "Oh, Tony deserves to get suspended right now. He shouldn't be playing right now. He should be away." Um, the name that comes up with gambling, and I said at the beginning of the show, Pete Rose, dude. So do you feel, because of this incident, do you feel that they need to look at Pete Rose and say, you know what, we're going to look at your situation because we have one right now. We'll probably reinstate you and put you in the Hall of Fame. Do you feel that way right now with Pete Rose?
Um, let's just wait how everything plays out with Otani. But yes, after this incident, I think MLB should reassess everything and should look into Pete Rose. He's a guy that definitely has the most hits in MLB history. I feel like he should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. I know he gambled on games he was involved, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he was gambling on games he was betting on himself to win. Now, which is a little different, right? But at the end of the day, yes, he should have not done that. That's part of the rule book. But it should be a guy that still be in the Hall. You just should have an asterisk next to it. Just based on your MLB statistics in your game, yes, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and here comes the other one. What about Barry Bonds?
Oh,
I know it's not gambling, but
right.
it is a way of like doing something with the game, because he altered the game or whatever it was, but everybody was doing it, dude. It wasn't just him. Everybody was doing it. Even if you
Right.
said I didn't do it, you were doing it. Look
And,
how ripped the guys were or how big they were in the 90s.
and,
They were
and you,
big dudes.
even if you're taking steroids, you still have to work on your game. And it's still a lot of requirement. Like, I don't know, man. He just added a little bit more pop to his game. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And that's where he managed to get 760 home runs.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, with Barry Bonds, man, I really love this game, but finding out he did steroids like that, did he ever confirm he did it?
He never said he did it. He never admitted that he did steroids. I don't think there was any proof that he did steroids. I know there was reports that he was on some reports that came out that said that he did do steroids, but it's never been confirmed. It was nothing that MLB did to confirm that he did steroids. It wasn't one of those things like, hey, I need you to go take a blood sample or do this, do that. Like it wasn't nothing like that for him to be kind of where in the position that he is now. And that's where, that's where it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
they need to
man.
do it or not need to do it. And that's where I feel with Pete Rose. So Pete Rose has the gambling allegations. He has other stuff like Trevor Bauer, dude, not just the gambling. So that's why they're looking at him and saying, okay, you got the gambling, but then aside from that, you kind of have similar things to Trevor Bauer, which he does.
Right.
I looked at his background, and he was like one of those players that he has a lot of charges, dude. Like with women, him beating them and stuff like that, and that doesn't look good either.
No.
I used to be one of those guys to be like, oh, Pete Rose, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. But then when you read his background, it's kind of sketchy, dude. So we're not
Yeah, man.
allowing Trevor Bauer to be into the MLB. So let's get into Trevor Bauer.
Wait,
Since
I gotta ask you, Seth. So you said
over,
Pete Rose. You said
yeah,
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame too.
uh, I kind of took a step back after I started reading all the stuff that all the allegations he has against him. There's a
But you
lot
don't
of
think he's done the time already though? Like it's been over 30 years since this. Over 30. We're approaching almost 40 years.
40 years, about 40, more than 40 years, I believe,
That's
since
what I'm saying.
his
After a
yeah.
while, like I bet the guy regrets everything he did. Like, I feel like he should deserve a second chance, right? We're country of
I
second
think he
opportunity.
got his second chance. He got his second chance, and he didn't do what he needed to do. Like he didn't endorse baseball like he needed to do it, and he didn't do it in the right way. I feel like Pete Rose was just looking out to get into the Hall of Fame and be into the MLB, but he does not regret gambling. He does not regret none of that stuff. So when
Okay.
you regret and you feel like, hey, you know what, I messed up, I should have not done it. So that makes you think if he didn't regret it for gambling, he does not regret it for the other stuff that he did. It's
Mm.
like I said, Trevor Bauer is not being allowed to play in the MLB because of what he did. Pete Rose has a similar things happen to him, so that kind of is like, that kind of sets me kind of in the place where I don't know, dude. I don't think Pete Rose should belong in the Hall of Fame. There's rules. There's other things besides the rules that you kind of feel like, okay, I don't think this guy is a good guy. And Barry Bonds only has the steroid allegation, and I
Mhm.
do feel like he belongs in the Hall of
Okay.
Fame. So that's it, it's. I mean, we can get into all that stuff. We can dig into it, and everybody's gonna have their opinion. But like, I just feel for right now, I feel like Pete Rose. It's just mentioned because of the gambling, right?
Mhm.
And everybody's talking about, oh, he does deserve to come back. It's just some crazy stuff in social media, dude. I don't know if you've
Dude,
seen it, right?
Pete
There's
Rose should have had a translator. Like, I
maybe,
mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry, man. Pete Rose, you speak perfect English, man. Let's just say
yeah,
that. You
yeah,
could have apologized then.
yeah. He could have apologized, and he could have, like, maybe he did, but it didn't seem sincere when he said it. Uh, I mean, he did get caught. It was him doing it, and this one's a little different. His interpreter is there, and he already came out saying that, yeah, I didn't tell Ohtani. So he's a liar, I guess, and it's what's
He's a
kind of
backstabber.
it's kind of what it has. We have the investigation because of that, because he's lying. So yeah, man, it's kind of crazy, right?
Wow.
Um,
Not in
so
a million years I would have thought this would have happened to Ohtani. Man,
yeah,
he's just such a really nice guy. I mean, is he lying to us? We're really never get another really true story neither. That's the problem with this.
yeah, yeah. And dude, remember when I said, okay, so when I heard Otani, that came out, I was like, nah, that can't be true. Like, why would it be true? This is the biggest superstar in baseball. A lot of people started saying, oh man, they're covering up Otani because he's the poster boy for MLB. He's the main guy of MLB. Like, I don't think they're doing that. I think they want to get to the bottom of this. A lot of people started posting Crane, the owner from the Astros, saying that, oh, he deserves everything that's coming to him. Like, that's fake. You have to look at your resources. You kind of look like, is this account a real account? So it's like
It,
a lot
it,
of those things, dude.
it just felt like a lot of people are for Otani's downfall. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like,
yeah.
do people really hate this guy that much? Like, man,
What?
it was like, what is going on with social media? People are just being ruthless and tough. Like, man, we don't know the true story. And I feel like people are just throwing out all these ideas, and I'm like, hold up, man. Like, let's just wait how it all plays out, and then we'll decide what we think about Ohtani, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I kind of feel kind of bad because everybody's like waiting for his downfall, and I don't know. I want to see the best baseball players out there. That's what MLB is all about. I think MLB is one of the few sports that has a lot of nationalities participate in the league. And, if we start kind of digging into people that are coming from other countries and digging harder on them than the United States born players, I think it sucks. And a lot of people are going to disagree with that statement I just made because a lot of people feel that American raised players here are getting poked at more than the international ones. And no, it's not. It's the same thing. Rules apply to all baseball MLB players. That rule for gambling, it's inside all 30 clubs, dude. They have a sign. They just said it. They said it in the MLB network that everybody should know that gambling is not permitted. They put a sign on the door like "Do not gamble" or whatever, and there's a rules. And yeah, it's there. It's there for everybody. It's not just for one player. No, everybody in the MLB gets the same rule. So it's just the statement that I just made is for both sides. It's not just for one. It's everybody in the
Okay.
MLB. Yeah. All right. I did talk about Trevor Bauer. Let's
All
let's move on
right.
to that, dude. And the Yankees did go to Mexico to play the Diablos Rojos.
What a trip.
Uh,
I was
when
like, what's going on? I'm like, I did never seen this happen in my life.
nah,
It was an amazing time.
dude, you're the one that told me that you saw it on ESPN Deportes, and I'm like, what? When are they playing? And why are they playing over there?
Yeah, so I was watching the Wednesday opening game with Dodgers and Padres in Korea, and they were promoting the Diablos Rojos versus the Yankees Sunday night, and I was like, wait, what? That's never happened in my life. I was like, why are they going there? Or sure enough, Trevor Bauer just signed with the Diablo Rojos for a 2 months, 6 games appearance,
Yeah.
and it's his way to prepare himself to show off to MLB teams that he still got it. And it was a trip. I was like, these I was kind of like, they're trying to use Trevor Bauer to bring in revenue for ESPN. And I was like, that's the only reason you would show these games. Why? Because Trevor
Yeah.
Bauer is pitching. But for those that didn't watch the game, it was on ESPN Deportes or the Yes Network. And Trevor Bauer went out there and pitched 3 solid innings, gave up 4 hits. He still had velocity up to 98 miles. And that nasty off-speed slider was getting people to swing and miss, man. Anthony Volpe was stuck in there was a bases loaded, and Anthony Volpe struck out with the bases loaded, and Bauer just got out of a jam right there. It was amazing, man. The guy looked impressive. I don't know about you. He proved to a lot of people that he still got it and should still be in an MLB team. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. I feel like the MLB has said to the owners, don't do it. Avoid the guy. But with more MLB players going there, now we have the possibility of Julio Urias going there. Wander Franco may show up down and play in Mexico. Yasiel Puig is still out there. And Trevor Bauer, you got all the MLB exile players out there. I feel like we should have a little bit more of these exhibition games. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's not forget to mention Robinson Cano's out there too.
Yeah. He hit a bomb, dude. He hit a bomb against the Yankees pitcher, so he still got it. He's only 40 years old. And I say only because like he's been away from the league for I want to say 4 years now. I think he retired from the MLB a little bit too soon, and he still got popped. Didn't you just say that he almost went for the cycle on Sunday?
He was a triple away from a cycle. Yes.
Damn!
Imagine. I think he was the biggest story of the day. Actually, I feel like Trevor Bauer pitching kind of overshadowed him, but watching Robinson Cano going against his old team, that was pretty impressive to me, man, and it made me realize MLB has been going way younger these days, and I feel like these younger players are still not ready, and I feel like they're rushing them too soon sometimes.
Yeah. So I posted the video.
What are your thoughts? Sorry, Trevor Bauer. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah. So I posted a video on Trevor Bauer striking out Popey, and there's some comments on YouTube, and they said the Yankees really need this man. I think the Yankees would benefit a lot from this man, but he's not the only team that he can boost up. There's other teams that need him. His velocity is up from the last time he pitched here in the United States. When he was out here with the Dodgers, he was throwing 95, 96. Now he's reaching 98, dude. So this man is throwing hard out there. he's trying to make the team. From what I heard, there's not many scouts out there though, because they don't really want him. They're well, Javi just said he says he's getting Kaepernick treatment. So um, I don't know how true that is, but it sounds legit because we've been talking about Trevor Bauer all year. We've been saying the same thing that he's blacklisted, that Manfred's not going to allow him to come back. Remember, he was one of the guys that kind of, started talking about the six sticky substance, was talking about, you know, um, Manfred, about him not doing the right thing against the Astros. He went on to John Boy. They had like a little meeting. They told him like, well, that's messed up that they allowed him to, they were hearing the bangs and all that stuff. So of course, Manfred's not going to allow him to come back into MLB. So maybe he finds a home in Mexico. Maybe he feels like maybe I can play here and then or play in other leagues, and that's how he has a great following. It's not like he doesn't.
It
So
was a sold out crowd yesterday, and it feels
yeah,
like Mexico received them with happiness for him to be in the Diablos Rojos team.
yeah, yeah. So that's a good thing for him, I guess. But I don't think we'll see him in the MLB team, and that's where it's kind of sucky. But there's been other stuff, man. JD Martinez, because we didn't, we've been talking about Ohtani all this time. JD Martinez did go to the Mets. He signed there. He's gonna play there 1 year. He remember if you guys he didn't go to the Giants because he didn't like playing there. He doesn't like going to Oracle, and that's the reason why he didn't sign for the 15 mil there. He signed for 12 with the Mets. He felt like that's a better fit for him. So a lot of Giants that were offended, they were like, "Oh, what the hell? He doesn't want to play over here." Well, now he just doesn't like playing in Oracle, and it's a good thing for a player to know. Like, hey, I can't play good at Petco, or I can't play good at Dodger Stadium, or I can't play good in Angel Stadium. Like, are you gonna hate on the guy? Like, he's just telling you the truth, So
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
it's a good thing, right?
He's
Like
like, I probably
players,
can't hit 30 bombs in Oracle Park, so I'll just go somewhere else.
yeah, like there's players can say that. Like, let's say Julio Rodriguez, when his contract is up, or he has an opt out year for him, and he doesn't feel like he's doing good with the Mariners. You think he's gonna be like, well, I'll stay because I'm loyal. Like, Mike Trout did that. He hits good in Anaheim. But let's say
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez, he kind of has a little, lower batting average at home than he does away. So those are things that you need to look at as a player and feel like maybe I need to go somewhere else. Maybe I need to move. And that's what JD Martinez did. He went to the Mets, and it's a good move for him. I mean, he's 36 years old. He still can hit bombs, and we'll see if he helps him there.
He made a pretty funny statement to me, which I thought was pretty funny. He did say that he wants to play for a playoff team, a team that can compete. And I was like, I don't think the Mets are really the team that's going to get you to the playoffs this year. He says, once you get a little taste of the playoffs, you want to continue doing it every year. And I was like, well, I don't think the Mets is the right place for that this year. That's my personal opinion, but I don't see the Mets competing any moment right now. And they've even said it that this is not the year they're going to compete.
All right. So Javi said that the Reds, I think they're talking about Bauer. They need him. I
They need
think
pitching.
the Reds need pitching. I know there's a lot of rookies there. There's a lot of potential for them to win the division, but I think they still need that veteran presence, which I kind of mentioned that with the Orioles a lot last year. I think the Reds are in the same boat this year. They need a veteran presence there, and that would be perfect because he used to pitch for the Reds. So why
Yeah.
not go back home, right? He pitched in Cleveland. He went to the Reds, and then to the Dodgers, and then to all these other teams around the world.
A lot of fans in the MLB want this guy to sign soon with their team. It's just Bauer has the stuff to compete, and a lot of teams are dealing with a lot of injuries in their pitching depth. And it's one of those where like, should this guy was already willing to pay for minimum wage, and
Yeah,
which is still like a mil or two, right? But it's like that would be such cheap price for that amount of talent you're gonna get.
that's true. You're paying only minimum, and he's throwing heat out there.
He really
Dude,
is.
I was gonna post a video here so I can show you. So there was a play in spring training, and this is a new rule. I think we mentioned at the beginning of our shows when spring training started. The new rule is you can't block second base, third base, or home plate with one of your feet. If you're about to catch the ball, it's called interference. And I did see the play live. I saw the Mets, and he was out by a mile, dude. The ball was already there. Everything was there, and the player hadn't even slid in, and then they called interference. So it sucks. It was Lindor. He put his foot a little bit on the base, in front of the base, and they called it. So I don't know, man. You know about the rule? Like, do you think it's a good rule?
You mentioned it to me before, and I have mixed feelings for it. I don't hate it and I don't love it. It's one of those where, like, why do we need it? I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Was already part of the game. If it's for their health, safety concerns, I can see why. But man, I'm not sure about this change.
Like, okay, so when you get the ball from a throwdown from the catcher, you're throwing down to second base. The shortstop gets in front of it, and the shortstop's not looking where his feet are at. What he's looking at is trying to track the ball and trying to make the tag with the runner and the base. You're not looking with your feet at. You're just trying to position yourself to try to catch it and make the tag, right?
No, definitely.
I hate it. I hate it personally. I hate it because you don't know where you're at when you're out there. It's not like you're looking at, okay, I'll position my feet right there and the ball's gonna come here. No, because the ball is gonna go wherever the field directs it. If it's straight line, then you kind of already know. But let's say you take it on one bounce, you don't know where you're gonna put your glove and your feet. Like,
No, yeah.
let's you know, like it sucks. I wish I would have put the video because I kind of would explain it a little bit more. But let's say you're on second and you're trying to catch a ball that's a one bouncer, you're gonna move your left foot a little bit more back to try to make a little bit more angle to catch
Yes.
the ball and make the
That's
tag.
that's my only concern. It depends how the catcher throws you the ball. What if it's in an area where you really can't catch it? You know what I mean? Like, you have to
No.
put your foot there now in order to make that grab. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to, or you're gonna have to put your body in front and just block it so it won't go to center field, so the runner will go to third. And that's where the problem for me is. We can need to look at other things that can help the game instead of looking at penalties for penalties that are kind of like, okay, it's hard for you to make that play already, and then kind of positioning yourself so you won't get a violation. That's stupid in my book.
When you brought up this rule recently, I asked you this question. Do you think this is why Sander Bogarts and Hassan Kim switched positions?
Yeah, you're the one that told me. Yeah, you're the one that told me. Like, I think you have a faster person and a better glove
Or
in Hansan Kim than you do Sander Bogarts.
or
He's
even the
faster.
Gavin Lux and Mookie Betts switch? That's also another one.
That's another one.
People are saying obviously the fielding, but you also got to apply this rule if you're going to play short now.
Yeah, because this rule, it's affecting a lot of things. This rule is just not affecting, like, oh, if you're a second baseman and your feet work is really good. It's like, no, dude, you kind of have to look at all those things. You kind of have to look like, is this going to affect my base running? Is this going to affect the stolen bases against my team? And you're right, dude. You did post that question, and you're the one that told me maybe that's why they moved them. Maybe when I'm like, it made a lot of sense. It makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense because some people have better gloves, better foot positioning in front of the base than others. So,
We never know.
I'll go ahead and post it. I'll post the video. I'll post the video because I do have
Let
it.
me
It's
ask.
just I didn't.
Let's
I
go
didn't, I
ask
didn't
Mike
have it in
Schill
here.
what he thinks about it. Like, is that why you really switch? I feel like the media is not really saying much about this rule, and they haven't really questioned why the players have switched recently. So they
Yeah,
haven't really said why Xander went to second. You know what I mean?
they haven't. They haven't said, and I think it's more. It has to do with not just that rule, but it has to do with him being more. Everybody says the second base is an easier position. It's
Right.
not. It's not. It's the MLB. Any position in the MLB is hard. I know the rock and soul of the infield is the shortstop. There he's the captain in there. He's the one that's going to be running up and down because most of the hitters in the MLB are right-handed and they're going to pull the ball there. So
Talking
you're
about
gonna,
that,
yeah,
you probably missed it, but I'm not sure if you saw the Mookie Jeter play right now.
I
Mookie
didn't.
Mookie attempted a Jeter type throw from short.
Yeah,
He came off a little short. Mike Trout
yeah,
beat
I'm
it
pretty
out.
sure. I'm pretty sure.
But
I
it
know he
looked
has.
amazing. I was like, "Whoa, Mookie!" Like, no, it
Well,
was
he
a
has
trap.
an arm from right field though. He does have
Yeah,
an arm. It just you make you think like if he jumps and throws, like I know which one you're talking about. The jump and throw. I mean the
yep,
jump and throw Jeter makes from the deep hole and short by third. So that's a good throw. He just did it right now.
yeah. Mike Trout beat it out.
Okay.
Angels and Dodgers are currently playing right now.
Yeah.
Last
I did see
exhibition
that.
games before the season starts, guys. We're 2 days away or 3. I
Yeah.
lost
Hey.
count.
So let's talk about the series, dude. Like I know all these things were happening, and we kind of forgot there was 2 games already. The Dodgers and Padres played out there, in Korea, and we didn't even talk about it because of this.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think of the two games that happened out there?
It was great. It was great for the game of baseball. Game one was a little different. I feel like the bats were kind of quiet. The batters were kind of getting their timing back. And then game two, what the hell just happened? The offense just came out of nowhere. Both teams started raking and they were just hitting some bombs. And I was like, wow, this is great. Machado
Yeah,
hit one, Mookie hit one. And Cronenworth, what the hell just happened? We had
yeah.
the Cronenworth glove in game one. How did that rip? Um, People are saying Ohtani ripped the glove before the game. So these are the memes that are coming out after this series.
I can
Mind
see
you,
that.
things.
I honestly feel, and I told you this, like the second game, I feel like the balls were juiced. And how are
Oh,
you going to make the game more exciting by putting more runs in, right? This happened in England. What was it last year when there
the
was the
London
Yankees and
series.
the London series? It was the Red Sox and the Yankees, and those were high scoring games, dude. Like no way that you're going to score 13, 14 runs in one game. And both teams were doing it. And it's just not one. If you see one, you're like, okay, I can see that. But both, that's kind of sketchy, right? You're kind of seeing the game and you're like, wait, what's going on here? I don't want to like kind of say that, oh man, it's because of that. But yeah, I think the balls were juiced, dude. And I mean, it was an exciting game because they were back and forward. You know,
Yeah, man.
the Padres
Yeah,
score all these
yep.
runs. Yeah, Yamamoto didn't pitch that good. Yeah,
Hey, that
uh,
325 mil was kind of like suspect, man. He got rocked a little bit, lasted one inning, and it's one of those where like, is there any concern for him? I know it's only game one. He just missed a couple locations, guys. Dodger fans, no need to worry. He still
yeah,
has some electrifying stuff, but he missed a couple spots, and that's where he got rocked by the Padres. Padres took advantage.
yeah, yeah. But there's a lot of people that are just saying, "Oh, you guys spend so much money on this guy, and we don't even know what you're gonna get." Of course, you don't know what you're gonna get, but it's his first time like pitching, and like I said, the balls were a little juice, maybe. I don't know, and he's gonna come back. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna be fine. It's only the first start. It's not even at Dodger Stadium. He hasn't pitched at Dodger Stadium. I think he's the second starter that's going to come up on Friday against the Cardinals. The
Okay.
season does open on Thursday, which is exciting. We're going to get to see a lot of baseball. And this is where
Woo.
we're going to get more news, dude. We'll be able to report more stuff. We're going to be reporting the season series. I mean, not the season series, but the series between
Recap.
in those week and the recap. We'll do it on Mondays. We did ask this question last time. What time would you guys want us to get on? If you're out there and you do see that, go ahead and post it on here. We do want to get that time for you guys. If we need to do it after the game on Sunday or early morning in the Monday or the same time right now, because I know there's a game right now going on right now. So it's like, okay, a lot of people probably watching that instead of watching us. But
I know
um,
they're just gonna watch the recap with us later, but
yeah,
it's okay. You guys can always catch us anytime. And for any new listeners, well, we want to thank you for listening. And we have a lot of great stuff for you, content for you guys this year. MLB is gonna be amazing. We already started with the greatest scandal in history with Ohtani, and it's not even day one yet.
yeah,
But we're happy to be here. If you guys want to make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, we will really deeply appreciate it. We do have the fantasy show on Thursday nights, right, Carlos? And they will
yeah,
be giving you the weekly advice how to find your two-star pitchers, who to look for, who to trade for, and who to look for, like if there's any injury concerns. So
yeah.
this is great, man. There's a lot of baseball, and we're happy.
Yep, and we have David here. I know nothing. I see nothing. I guess the monkeys. See no evil. Yeah, right. That I think that's what it is. Ryan, what's up, dude? How's it going, man? We're still here. We're talking. We already talked about the Ohtani news. Um,
Hey
it's
Ryan, did you give me some? Did you give me some baseball cards from Target? We need to look for those 2024 rookie cards.
oh man. I wanted to ask you one more thing before we log off. I know it's going to be a short show because I mean we already talked about it. Let's see. What do we got? Another one. Hogan's Hero. Hmm.
I don't know what that means.
Hmm. Yeah. Like David, let us know what you mean by that. So yeah, dude. I wanted to ask you. So if Otani, like, let's say this goes fast, right? This finishes fast. Do you think that Otani's still gonna play a little lower, a little down, or you still feel like you all season long?
No, not all season long. For sure, the first 2 months, I see him having a bit of struggling, and this is going to be where the media is going to come in and question if the 700 million was really worth it. You have Artie Moreno saying that he didn't expect Ohtani to receive anything more than 500 million.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy to
and
me.
I ask you this: did the Angels know anything about Ohtani and Ipe? That's my biggest dude. The amount of stuff that's happened in the Angels in the past decade, the amount of drama that the Angels clubhouse has had, it
Yeah.
makes me question. Like the guys already said, "Oh, we had no idea Ohtani was gambling." Who's to say that one of the guys in there didn't tell Ohtani and Ipe where to go with the bookie? It
Ah,
was in Orange County.
it was. It was in Orange County, but I feel like Artie. A lot of people are saying sell the team already. Like, really? Like, why are you saying that? And a lot of Angel fans has come out. I don't know if you've seen. A lot of Angels fans have come out and said, "What are you talking about? Like, you could have gave that money to Ohtani. He could have stayed here.
Right.
Everybody had the same thing or the same the same
Papa Klaus.
right to do it." And he just felt like, wait, that's too much money. Like, you didn't think that was going to happen. I felt like he was going to get even more, dude. But when I did hear the 700, I felt like, damn, that's a lot of money. Like,
It
for
was.
one player, and you're talking about
He's two
300.
players.
He's two players. He's two players. In reality, he is two players. So, okay. I know nothing. I see nothing. Hogan's hero. Okay, gotcha. Um, David, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, man. We would love it if you did. You could ask us anything in baseball. You can say anything in baseball. We have the fantasy show, like Ernie said. You can ask anything on fantasy baseball. We're a baseball network. We do have two shows. We have the news one, which is the live one that comes out Mondays, and we have the Thursday one that comes out with Will and Chavi and Kevmo sometimes comes on there, and that's the fantasy show. So, um, if you guys can hit that like and subscribe. Ernie said all this stuff already, and I'm repeating it, but
It's
I
all
have
good,
to do
man.
it. I have
That's
to
gonna
do
come
it
out of your
because
voice.
there's people that comes out we have to kind of lure them to be like, hey, yeah, I want to get on here.
Yeah, that's true, man. But yeah, like we were mentioning before, Otani's, I could see him definitely having a rough couple 2 months. It's gonna take some time to settle in. Obviously it's a deep Dodgers lineup, but it's a lot of pressure with all the media constantly being in there. LA's a big market, man. I mean, I know Orange County is just as big, but LA is like 10 times or even 50 times more. You know what I mean? The amount of media, the people are going to his house, trying to record him, going to courthouse. I'm just glad that he's open to this and he's done the right thing by going to his lawyers and going to his representatives and like, this happened. I don't know what to do and help me out. Because obviously he's going to have a hard time, man. He doesn't
Yeah,
speak English very well. It looks like he's learning really fast, but
yeah.
he doesn't feel comfortable to talk English 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we've dealt with this with the Los Angeles Lakers with Kobe Bryant when he was leaving to go to court in Denver and then coming back, and he was in the playoffs when that was happening. I don't know if you remember that in
Yeah, man.
2000, right? So it's not unfamiliar to LA fans that that's going to happen, but the way this is kind of shaping up, I hope this doesn't take away from the team to where he's going to miss a lot of games. They haven't even talked about that. They just said, oh, it's not going to distract them. Oh, he's going to be a good player. Like, we don't know. We don't know until that happens. Like, you're proven guilty. What is it? You're innocent to proving guilty, right?
Mhm.
Right now, if there is something that he did not say, they're gonna look at it with a microscope, and that's where they're gonna grab him from. So, of course, you got to be worried about everything that happens. Like, even if you weren't part of it, you start to feel like, okay, am I in the clear now? Not until that gobble goes down and say court dismissed or court is over or whatever. That's when he's going to start feeling good. And this could take more than a year. It can take more than 2 years. It can
Yeah.
take up to 3 years. So
But are you glad that he spoke today? You
I
know,
am. I am really glad that he did because Ken Rosenthal came out yesterday saying, I don't think it's a good idea for him to come out. I don't think he should. I don't think they're going to allow him to do it. Um,
huh?
and these guys are big media people. Of course, they know they have their sources. They go out and they talk to people and they say, "Hey, what's going to happen? Are they going to allow him to talk?" Dave Roberts was behind this. He said, "I think it's a good idea because your teammates need to know too what's going on.
Yeah.
They're thinking about it too. It's not just you now. I told you it's the organization, it's the teammates, it's MLB, it's the fans, it's a lot of people involved in one person. And because of this one person, everybody's looking at it, and it feels that okay, we need to hear what's going on, and that's kind of where it's crazy, dude. All right, let's see.
Not until.
You want to read it?
David says, not until forensic paper trails and phone calls.
Yeah. Richard Nixon, man, you got to go back to what
Oh,
is it? The
man.
Watergate scandal.
This is way back into my time.
Way back.
I don't remember
That's
this.
way back. That's way back. That's the Watergate scandal. You got to look at phone calls, paper trail, and all that stuff. So yeah, dude. Oh, they're giving us a score here. We'll go ahead and pop it up on here. And Dodgers 0, Angels 6. I know. So there you go. He's an Angel fan. If you guys
I'm
didn't
wearing
know.
an LA hat. I still support LA.
Yeah.
I'm one of the Angel fans that doesn't hate the Dodgers. Okay, guys. There's
No,
a
that's
lot
good.
there's a lot of Angel fans like saying Ohtani did it. I'm happy it happened with the Dodgers. Like, why are you upset, man? At the end of the day, we should be happy we had Ohtani for 6 years. We were blessed
Yeah.
to have the best player in our team wearing our uniform, and he brought us a lot of great memories. Yes, we didn't go to the playoffs, but we got to see a generational talent, two-way player. Man, what Felix saying? Ohtani's a gambler. Kenny Rogers told me. Come on, Felix. No, man.
I didn't know you had. I didn't know you had. So you had Kenny Rogers. You were talking to Kenny Rogers, man. Tell him what's up for me. Oh man, that's crazy. Like I think a lot of people from New York and especially Yankee fans, they're loving it right now. They're saying,
they're loving
"Oh, this is great. This is the greatest news I've gotten all season." And if it wasn't for like all these little other signings like that happened with that team, they would have been more invested on what's happening with this. Right now the Yankee fans are all talking about Trevor Bauer, like we said earlier, but this is great for them. They're like, oh, hell yeah. Ohtani got caught. They should suspend them. They should let him go. They shouldn't pay him. They should do this. They should do that. Everything has to do with his downfall. And that's what sucks, man. That's what really sucks. Would it happen if he was with another team? That's my question. And I'll ask you, Ernie, since he was an Angel, if this was happening with the Angels, would this so much drama come into it?
No, man, I don't think so. I really don't. I feel because it's a Dodgers, a big market, and Ipe, he went to him saying, I've been lying to you this time. I stole your money, and Shohei claims to not never know anything about this. We don't know how true that really is, but it's one of those things, man. I don't think this information would be out there if it was another smaller market team.
You think? Okay. I think it would have been a little bit more quiet.
Hey, it looks like David said, I had season tickets for the Angels in 1978, lived in Hawthorne. That's great, man. I've been looking into getting a 10-game plan at least this year. But the way I saw Artie Moreno not shopping for players, I'm like, I'm not supporting this guy. I'll go to 1 or 2 games, but I'm not gonna give him any more money if he's not gonna spend for the players,
Javier says he lived in Hawthorne too a while back now. Javi, I think you're more of a Pennsylvanian now.
Yeah, those type of guy.
Hey, but you did live there. I know you did, and that was probably a couple years ago. Dude, anything else we want to say before we log off? It's been fun. We like the messages. We like when we have this interaction. Never, of course, man. Come on, dude. You're an East Coast guy now, dude. Javi's saying that he lived in Hawthorne. I'm over here clowning him because he's out there in the East Coast. I'm not clowning, dude. I'm just busting your balls, but you're all out there, and that's a good thing, dude. You're doing your thing. Let's go ahead and post Felix what he said. Ernie Carlos, Ohtani is a criminal and he doesn't pay taxes. So, dude, we talked about that because once his career finishes, I think he's going to Japan and he's not going to pay taxes. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see where we have a few comments. I guess we'll go over them, right?
Great show, guys. Thanks,
right now. Yeah, I like that. I like that. David said he's in Salt Lake City now, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Fun out there.
Are they going to support the AAA Angels? They're out there in Salt Lake City Bees.
Is that one of the I guess I want to say one of the states that MLB is looking to put an MLB team?
Yeah,
right?
Looks like they have talked about it, and I think the state of Utah has proposed an idea of how to build a stadium and everything like that.
Ryan, always great show. Thank you, Ryan. That's really, really really, really cool to see people say that we have a good show. Rival Fantasy, fellas, of course. If you're in here and you want to play Rival
You want to play
Fantasy
with
with
us?
us, yeah, we're gonna go and do a live one. Maybe we should do one next week, dude. See if we can do
Yeah.
it on a Monday.
So let me break it down. The beauty of Rival Fantasy is that you have a chance to play this game best ball, which I've been doing really great at. You get a chance to play on a daily, weekly, or season-long challenge, right? So the beauty of it is that you draft your team and you don't have to make any roster moves. Like it would automatically choose the best players that do the best scores, and you just got to sit back and earn your money and collect it.
Collect it. That's all you do, man. You collect your money. And all the money, I think we didn't mention this, all the money you put in, you get back. Let's say you put in 200, they'll match the 200 for you. So you'll have to $400 to pay and gamble that. So we're over here,
We're over here
sponsoring
promoting
a
gambling and
and,
Ohtani.
and Otani's in a situation where he's like, I can't gamble, guys. And I'm over here in the situation where
And you think we could get Ohtani to gamble with us?
dude, there's a lot of memes on him right now, dude. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's all good. We could play
All
with
right.
we could play with Ipe. That's all right.
Dude, man, I think he's looking at jail time too, dude.
You think so? Oh man,
I think so.
It's kind of serious right now.
Yeah,
If it's a
that's
federal
serious.
investigation, yeah, it could potentially harm his time.
Dude, there's so okay. So if he is convicted of something, he is gonna get convicted of gambling in California. California gambling is not legal.
Oh,
So that's a thing. So he might do 5 years for it. And if he's the fall guy, would you do it for 5 years? Like, all these things happen and all these things are happening. So we don't know what's going behind the scenes, but 5 years, dude, that's what he's looking at if he gets convicted for everything that.
damn, this guy had the best job anybody could wish for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like $500K just to speak Japanese, translate to Ohtani and follow him everywhere he went. And the thing you do, you backstab him for a 4.5.
Ryan, you are talking about Pete Rose. We talked about him earlier. What do you think about Pete Rose? Like, should he be in, or like with all this thing unraveling with Ohtani? Felix, you let me know too, man. What do you think? Javi, all you guys, David, you guys, does Pete Rose belong in the Hall of Fame? As with this news that came out with Ohtani, I want to see your answers because we still have a little bit of time. Why not, right? All right. So David asked, "Who's your team?" And I'll let you go first, Ernie.
Well, I've been a lifelong Angels fan. When I was a kid, Angels in the Outfield was my favorite movie. I still have it in VHS. And that's the reason why I still root for the Angels to this day.
Cool, man.
Terrible.
And
I should have changed when I had the chance. Nah, I'm joking.
David, I'm a big time Dodger fan. I'm a big baseball fan first, though. I love baseball. I watched baseball growing up. I watched the '90 Braves. I watched the Yankees. I watched the Red Sox. All those things that happened, when the Red Sox broke the Babe Ruth, curse. You had the Cubs winning the championship not too long ago, 2016. Harry Carey, like you remember all those things back in the day. So like I'm a huge Dodger fan, but more baseball fan, I think I am. But of course, I want to see my Dodgers win a World Series, a legit one, not a 2020 World Series. I want to see a World Series where they play 162 games, they go through the playoffs, and they win it the way everybody wants to see them win it. That's how I want to see it.
I feel bad for the Dodgers because I feel like they really did that in 2017, and unfortunately, the Astros stole.
Why you got to bring up old stuff, man?
We love history, man. We like to talk about those stuff. We can never let it go.
That's true. All right, Felix says Pete Rose deserves the chance, man. Everyone made mistakes. Barry Bonds, same case. All right, so he says yes. Let's see. Javi says I'm iffy with Rose. No apology. No Hall of Fame. You're on my side. Ding, 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 ding. I don't have the bell. All right, let's go. You want to take this one, Ernie?
Yeah, Ryan says Ohtani's innocent. Can't believe the guy did that shit. Like Ernie said, he had it made. Ohtani would have brought him any whatever, but not anymore. So yeah, man, you're right. Ohtani has that much money, man. This guy's obviously getting paid $2 million because he has a deferred contract, but he's still making over $60 million just in endorsements alone. I don't think any MLB players even close to that. I think Bryce Harper is the closest one with like $5 million in endorsements.
That's true.
So this guy brings all the Japanese. Wait till you see all these Dodger games, the amount of Japanese media being plastered in the back of the Dodger game just so you can watch that. Watch, it's going to be insane this year.
Yeah, and not just Japan. You're gonna look at Korea. You're gonna look at all these places that's gonna show up in the stadium. You're like, wow, it's gonna be amazing. All right, I was at the game when tournament makes. Oh, that's a. I don't remember if they stopped the game. Do you, David? Can you answer that? Did they stop the game when that happened? Just get a clear answer for that.
What year
But
was that?
I want to say that was before me, dude.
Yeah, I
Um,
want to say before me too. I mean,
Yeah, and we should know, and good thing that you brought it up because we want to know. We like learning about baseball. Um,
so
but
that
yeah,
was 1979, August 2nd,
yeah,
1979. Munson died in a car crash while practicing landings on his aircraft.
yeah. So I remember when because a lot of when players die, they stop the games or they don't play the game. I don't remember if they stopped the game because they were playing when it happened or it they just didn't play that day. But there was other things like Tim Cruz. I don't know if you remember this one, and this one's a did you know from the Indians. Tim Cruz, Bobby Ojeda, and there was one more player. I can't remember his name. They got into a boat accident. This was in spring training,
Hmm.
and I remember this happened in 93, 94, and they suspended all the games that for spring training. They didn't play because of these players. So the only one that was alive was Bobby Ojeda. They were all three pitchers from the Indians. Two of them had pitched for the Dodgers the season before, and then they got traded or they went to the Indians, and they got into a boat accident and they didn't play. Um,
Man.
that's crazy, right? And this was
Yeah.
like in 92, 93, 92, 93, 94. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that's crazy, dude. Oh, he was at the game when that happened. Wow.
Oh,
Damn.
that's strange. Okay, I think not too sure with Munson's career, but I know he was a catcher for the Yankees back in
Yeah.
the 60s and 70s, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Damn.
That's all I really know much about him, but yeah, I know
We'll,
my
we'll,
Yankee
we'll dig up
history.
on a
That's it.
little bit on it. Yeah, because we have to. Yeah. We have to know about all this. I'll never forget, Danny.
Ohtani More.
Yeah. Dude. Dude, he's
That's a
bringing up
lot of.
a lot of trivia, like a lot of stuff for us to know, man. David,
That's
thank you
great.
for bringing all those because we really like all this stuff. We're gonna have to dig into it. We do have another guy that knows like his 60s and 70s. Well, he knows his 50s, 60s, and 70s stuff. Like he really loves all this, and I love it too because now you're gonna have me looking for it when I get off this show and be like, wait, I need to research this guy.
And on a weekly basis, we do bring a Did You Know to bring a little bit about baseball history. We love the game, so we like to bring a little bit about the past and teach people about the game of baseball. Maybe they don't know the story. And I feel like, thank you, David, for bringing this Did You Know about Thurman Munson, because I feel like I myself known about the guy, but I don't really know much details because I wasn't born at that time.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll bring it up and we'll do a DJ note for sure. Hopefully you can join us, and if we say something wrong, you can correct us to do it because that's what this show is about. Well, we did reach that point. We got to the hour, Ernie. Yay!
Hey, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. So give your last mentions. Everybody's still here. If
Yeah,
you're
man.
still
Well, I
on.
just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate the talking with you guys. We enjoy interacting with one another, talking baseball, the game we love. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you're the first time listener. We really appreciate that. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, guys. That's the goal, the model.
Yeah.
2024 MLB Real Talk baseball season.
Yeah. All right. And I just want to say, let's get this season started 2024 on Thursday. If you whatever team you're rooting for, hopefully they do what they were promised to do to get to the World Series because that's everybody's goal at the end. And if there's a team that you feel like they don't have a team to do it, but still have those aspirations to at least make it to the playoffs, hopefully your team does that. So I'm Carlos Baseball. This is ErnieOrange from everybody here at Real Talk Baseball. Signing out.